All right, so here we are into what I believe is day 5 of daily uploads, and this I believe is the day before, or perhaps 2 days before, my very first week of AIC this year. So I'm going to be recording stuff, editing it the night of, and then uploading it the next day. So the video for my Monday will actually come out on Tuesday, so it's a little bit off, but essentially, here is part of the stuff that I want to do that first week. I want to delve a lot deeper into trail characters. And so this will be both a little bit of an explanation of trail characters in general, and then based on that general explanation, kind of what I want to do with my trail character. So here we have my first trail character for week 1. So essentially, trail characters are pretty much always counselors, but they can sometimes be other kids who are non-combatants, or if they are combatants, they're non-playable characters. So it is someone who's taken out of the game, so they're not like fighting for their team, but they have special powers. It's somebody else walking the trails. I mean, that's why they're called trail characters. And they often have some like story elements or quest elements to kind of affect the flow of the story and make the game play differently. So they're two sort of general, I wouldn't call them types, but general like ideologies or general classes. Wow, that really is just a synonym of types. There are ones that move the story along. So trail characters that are actually involved in the like how the week flows. So there might be a main enemy, or there might be the main hero of the story, and then the campers will either go to the hero side or go to the enemy side and either help or fight that trail character. There are sometimes helpful NPCs, like you could call the Wizard Merlin in like the King Arthur story, would just be like a guy who's kind of there and like helps you if you need magic stuff, but he's not really like out there fighting a whole lot. He's kind of just helping you. He's a non-playable character. And sometimes trail characters will sort of take that role. They will very often give out quests, often in exchange for gold or sometimes relics, but that's a band by band thing, day by day thing. So kids will come up to them, hey, trail character, do you have any quests? Oh, sure, I have this quest. Go collect 5 acorns and then come back to me and I'll give you a gold coin. Like weird stuff like that. But sometimes the quests are more like, there's a mythical beast out in the realm. It's seeking to cause havoc. We have to go and trap it. And so first you have to go find a trap. Go locate the trapper. If you can locate him, he will lead you to the next quest. And so then the whole week will be centered around catching a mythical beast. And the guy who gives out the quest will be a trail character. So that's sort of like moving the story along. And then there are counselors where really the point of the trail character is just to allow the counselor to better connect with the kids in a different dynamic. So we have lots of dukes, lots of nobility in the castle where they sort of run things. They like hand out jobs. They tell kids to make stuff, or when kids do make stuff, they show it off as like a different sort of feeling of how a counselor can connect to the kids, and they get to wear a fun costume and speak in funny sentences. So yeah, they also give out quests, but like for particular, there's a instance I'll show in a little bit of one trail character who gave out a quest to a kid who wasn't really wanting to fight on the main battle quite as much, and so he got a quest to go do something that still helped his team, but just wasn't. It was something he was more interested in than just brawling. Give the kids another storyline to be interested in. Give them different things to focus on, like librarians are great trail characters who often just sort of sit in the castle and help. When kids come to them, they'll give them a quest to write like 3 books or something about different stories in the realm. And they're just a person that's sitting there that gives the kids more content. And so librarians is kind of the de facto job, is providing more lore or world building, providing more information about who they are in the context of the realm, and just sort of telling everyone their story. That's essentially what trail characters are. So here are a couple examples of different trail characters. I have 4 examples, and then the one that I want to do next week is my first example is Colossus. Colossus is the cliche trail character. He's a big, scary monster that doesn't really speak and kind of just like shakes his fists at different people and scares them off. And it is sort of like that first type of trail character. It's either a hero Colossus is on your side and you run after him as he like kicks down the Grey Malkin and barges into the enemy base, or you're running away from them or trying to fight him as he kicks down your Grey Malkin and runs into your base. And here's a short video about the Colossus. The next trail character is the Plague Doctor. Plague Doctor is this character who I was telling you about, who, so this is one of our campers that we had, and he wasn't quite as interested in the main fight and like being in a battle lines with all of the rest of the kids. So this Plague Doctor here gave him a quest to go find a relic. The Plague Doctor handed out a riddle, and I followed this kid around, and we solved the riddle and then went and collected this relic, and it helped our team. It's giving this kid something to be engaged about, something to feel helpful with, but isn't necessarily about the main battle. It's a new element of storyline and a different way of playing that is more like the role-playing way of doing this, because that's literally the definition of a trail character. And so here's another video about the Plague Doctor giving us or maybe it wasn't a riddle, but giving us sort of advice on where to go look for relics.
What a relic is.
Yep.
If there are going to be relics tomorrow, I would say a best bet to look for one would be somewhere in Arco, because that is the hottest spot for relics right now.
Okay. Thank you, Disney.
I would not check today though, because I assumed that the hammer, the blunt object, was the only relic hidden there, and that has been found.
And then we have the Judge. The Judge is was an antagonist, leaning over the tower looking menacing. There was a whole big story one week where gold is the normal currency in the realm, but this one group of kids tried to found a cryptocurrency, and then they essentially scammed everyone out of their money, and then they accidentally summoned a crypto demon, which killed a bunch of people and caused a bunch of havoc. And so they sued someone else, or somebody got sued somehow. And so we had to invent a judge to preside over the case. And we gave him beautiful flowing locks of hair and a gavel and a judge's gown of some kind. And it gave us something to think about, something to do. It gave the kids something to be interested in and be interactive with, kind of outside of the very basic scope of fighting. It's way more castle, way more role play, but it also takes place out on the trails. This particular one took place in the castle, and here's a video of it.
Filthy rich! He's using his money against us! He's using his power against us! He has unlimited cash, he's just using it against us. That's how we got out of jail.
Powers as a counselor again.
What is your proof?
What he just said, news heard it, eyewitness. He just gave you 5 gold so we could skip the jail time. That's pretty.
I didn't say that.
Listen, the judge's word is law in the land.
On video.
And then I think this is the last trail character example that I have is Troll and his Happy Rock. This is one of the older trail characters. I think Colossus might be slightly older, but these two are OGs from like way back in the day. Troll is a bit of a weird one. I've had a couple of encounters with Troll in, past 7 or 8 years. Has very, very peculiar speech, peculiar mannerisms. Not super great. Like, Brett, the counselor who plays it, does a really good job of portraying some, like, crippling social awkwardness. Very, very cool trail character, and oftentimes will be like the hero of the story, because this troll has his happy rock, and that happy rock will somehow like work its way into the story and do magical things, or like will to power. Like there was one week where there was this huge battle that happened, and at the end of it, Troll like got the last blow and then crowned Happy Rock king of the realm, or ruler of the realm, or something like that. It was a whole fiasco. I think I have a photo of that I could maybe throw up, but here's video of an interview with the troll and the magical adventures they've been on.
So, what are your current thoughts on the unrest in the castle?
still not know how to handle all this pressure.
Joe, what is your perfect Sunday?
Butterscotch?
Is he...
He's got to go.
Where'd he go?
Okay, so wow, that image is a little small. So essentially, next week and for the rest of the summer, I've had this idea for a trail character I could do specifically with my whole set of armor because I really love this set and I don't want to have to like constantly be taking it on and off to play different trail characters. So essentially, the idea is I just attach stuff onto the set and play different characters while in the same set of armor. So I'd wear props over top of the armor that would turn me into different characters while still being in this full armor. There are 3 connection points that I can take advantage of. There's a tie on the top of my head, and there's one on each shoulder, and I could probably invent some other ones on my waist or stuff if I had other props for those. But I would tie or tape on cardboard pieces over top of other stuff, and then I could become a different trail character while still wearing all my armor. And so then I could invent however many different characters I wanted and just do some minor changes to like facial features, or like I could put hair on or like shoulder pads on or other weird stuff if I wanted to, but all over top of the same armor. And so for week 1, the trail character I want to do is the Honorable Duke Loricate. Loricate is a word meaning to cover with plates or to cover with scales, to protect. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Essentially, it's just me in full armor with a sword and shield and maybe a staff or scepter if I build one. We might like invent some other props for him, but pretty much it's Duke Loricate, which is just me in armor, but also with a wonderful cardboard beard and mustache and 2 very dark eyebrows and perhaps some sort of a cloak or cape if I figure out a way of doing that before next Monday. But he's a very puffed out, tall gait and goes back and forth between speaking very quickly and very slow. Very like royal, noble manner because he's a duke. And his whole gimmick is being a part of this family that are like a lineage of blacksmiths, and they go around trying to make armor for people because his whole gimmick is trying to convince people to wear armor and how great armor is. And so here's a short video of me acting as Duke Loricate and how I'll sort of act during week 1.
I am the Grand and Noble Duke Loricate, and I am here to inform you all in the realm of how best to make armor. I come from a long line of distinguished armor blacksmiths and have over 180 years of experience in manufacturing armor. If you wish to become a vassal of my familia, please stop by my forge and we shall perhaps fabricate a suit for you.
And that's it for me today. Adventures of Cardboard always has a bunch of merch. They have like 6 pages of merch on their website, and I'm just going to keep promoting it because I think it's fun. But here's our website, here's their Instagram, and here's their YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to day 5 of daily uploads. The first week is coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. I'm really excited for it. I think there'll be a lot of stuff, especially if we can pull off a strong Duke Loricate impersonation. I think that'll be really, really, really cool. So yeah, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you tomorrow.